So this morning when I woke up, I realized I had 1,000 subscribers. I went to bed, I think at like 903 or something like that. So the last video did well, which is pretty cool. There is a part of me that wishes we could have met under better circumstances. What I mean by that is, like, obviously, I don't want to make videos about a poor dating life. I'd want to make videos about a great dating life, but that's kind of just where we're at. So I'll keep making them, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's definitely a feeling that I've had inside of me of, I don't want to say like resentment necessarily, but there's a part of me that is super angry. A lot of the times it's more so of just like disappointment, but lately it's been a lot of anger just because you put your time towards something and there's no result, and you think you've gotten better and you feel like you've gotten better, but then you kind of unfortunately go back to square one, which I like to say for dating is level one, which would be square one, back to the beginning. So I got a message from one of my friends yesterday, and he never really goes outside, he never really does much, and he asked me if I wanted to go somewhere with him. And normally I'm all about it, but I legitimately was like, is it even worth it? And I know I tell you guys all the time, it's like, don't give up, keep fighting and things like that, but it's just it's easier said than done, because there's nothing worse than, literally, there's nothing worse than when you meet someone and then you think it's going well and then you just like never hear from them again. And it always has me thinking, I said this in my last video, where it's like I'd legitimately rather have nothing than sort of a little something, just because there's that distraction. And I know it's sort of like a skill issue, that's like a video game saying, but it's kind of like a personal issue that I have. But it's hard for me to stay focused sometimes, just knowing how bad it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm still doing what I have to do, and I'm trying to do it at the highest possible level. And I've never actually like recorded, if you guys see me looking around, I've never actually recorded, like, I'm not that deep into the woods, but wow, I mean, one of these days maybe I'll go out there. I'm kind of afraid because there's been a black bear with its cubs walking around this lately, and I hear things at night and stuff like that. But maybe I'll bring a friend. And speaking of friends, I do have an interview coming to the channel on Saturday. I want to post one a week. I met with this girl on Hinge, and she was also a big Knicks fan like me, and I wanted to get her on the channel, but I unsurprisingly never heard from her. So I do want to post like one interview a week. And once I'm monetized, which technically I'm technically monetized, but I'm in the process of being reviewed. So once I'm actually like officially into the program and I'm making money, I'm gonna start to like switch up the location. Like, I'm not just gonna be in I mean, this isn't even I don't think this is necessarily like the worst thing in the world, but I actually will start like walking around. Like, I'll drive to different places and things like that. Like I said, I just didn't want to invest much into something that isn't really like bringing me anything. Like, yeah, like, I'd make videos for free for the rest of my life if it came to that, but if I'm gonna actually like sort of take it to that next level, I do want to be making something off of it, so then I can start investing into it. So that would be cool. But yeah, I can definitely do more interviews, probably like one a week. It's not that hard because there's plenty of other creators out there that are smaller like me that would like to do that. There's people I know in real life. I could always go out and meet girls that way and get them on, but I might have been wrong. It's crazy because I did meet my ex off of a dating app, and I'm trying to think in my head. So I'm trying to think of the girls I've been with that I met in person. Two, I think two, three. So 50% of the girls that I've been with. Actually, no, that's not true. There's been more than, I don't know, but not many. Actually four. Okay, so I've been with four girls that I've met in person, which, yeah, it's about like 50-50 if I'm being honest. So it's not terrible, but I think it's just nowadays, like, it seems like as the years go on, it gets more difficult to be able to meet people online. It used to be kind of easy. Like, if you guys are old enough to remember, like, online dating, 2018, 2019, right before COVID, like, it was a lot easier. Like, even like average guys were kind of seeing success, but now it's like you don't even have a chance because all the average guys are spending money. So they're being shown at the top, and they're probably still not getting much results because doesn't really matter how much money you spend if a girl isn't attracted to you, right? Like, so that's kind of the thing. And in person is not much more different than online. Yeah, you have an advantage because you're approaching them in person, but it's the same thing as online. Is like she's still talking to people probably on Instagram or TikTok or what, not YouTube, but she still has options. And that's the thing about in person, is even in person seems kind of more difficult. And I think they just kind of go hand in hand, where like somebody, even if like if a girl wasn't on her phone and didn't use social media, then like yeah, but like every girl pretty much is. I've met very few girls who don't use social media, and that's why I find it funny, because it's like you go and you approach a girl at the club, and everyone's like, oh, never do that. But then it's like you go and you approach a girl at like a store. How, like, who was to say that she's not the same way? Like, that's why I never understood that. I mean, obviously it's more likely that if you go and approach a girl at like the grocery store, that she's gonna be a better type of girl, like more pure. But to this point, I mean, everyone is, not everyone, but you know, a lot of people are sleeping around. The issue is that it's the girls, same girls sleeping with the same guys, and then like the guys who are average or below aren't really getting recognized. And I guess it just depends on my day. Yesterday I felt very under the weather. You know, I was talking about it in my video about why I felt this way, and then I was like, oh, because dating life sucks, and then I'm sick. I just forgot I was sick in that moment. Today I'm feeling a little bit better. Not 100%, but I guess like the best thing to do is just to stay busy and stay distracted and keep grinding and sort of put it on the back burner. I don't think I'll necessarily like quit trying to meet girls and things like that. I've thought about it. Like, I woke up today and like I literally, I mean, that's what, it's been probably 5 days in a row to where I messaged a girl that I matched with and she messaged me back, and then I never heard from her after that. Probably like 5 days in a row. And it's just like, it just sucks. It really sucks. Because, you know, I was enjoying like the thought of matching online and talking, because like setting up dates without having to spend like all night going out and approaching girls, and you don't know if they're even into you because there's no signals usually. I mean, sometimes there is, but, and I forgot to tell you guys this yesterday, but so Saturday, whoa, that was weird. Saturday night, I was at this event, and there was this girl who I thought was like really attractive, but like out of my league, honestly. And I was just thinking about like talking to her, not like, oh, like, should I go talk to her? It was more so of like the thought of like me actually doing it. And then like literally like a minute later, she bumped into me and she's like, oh, like, I'm so sorry. And then she looked at me and I looked at her and she like smiled, and then I still never talked to her. You know, they say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I think Wayne Gretzky said that. Dude, I'm so depleted with dating where I don't even feel like shooting the shot anymore. Because how it's worked for me is like once a month I'll get with a girl who's like really attractive, and then that's it. You know, I don't get complacent, I don't settle, I don't lower my standards. You know, sure, I've matched with some girls lately who are okay, probably like 5.5, but like I didn't pursue them. I don't know, you know, it's just like, I guess it feels better to get matches than none, but that's obviously not what I'm looking for. But I'm realistic enough to know that there's a lot of work to do, and a lot of it is financially, a lot of it's my physique. You know, I have gained weight. I've gained 14 pounds in the last like 3.5 months, which isn't terrible because I used to be 172 and now I'm 186. But I just need to like obviously put on more muscle and things like that. But I think that's a big thing, is because girls don't really want skinny guys. So, and especially if you want a girl who has like, whoa, that scared me. Especially if you want a girl who, I'm not like necessarily like is like dummy thick or anything, but if you want a girl who has some like meat on her, right? Because I've been with thick girls, skinny girls, like slim. I've been with pretty much every body type, and it's like you want a girl who works out and is in shape and things like that. And that was kind of like the last girl that I was with, but she was like 5'7", 5'8", worked out and stuff. And yeah, you know, I was able to like pick her up and stuff like that, but not like anything crazy in the scenes. I just mean like lift her up, you know, like things like that. Like, but like, bro, yeah, I definitely got a lot to work on. I know that, but you know how I like to say it is, you should be working on all aspects of your life, which means you should be getting in better shape. dating, making more money, and the biggest thing probably is like relationships with like God, friends, and family. I think like simultaneously you should be doing all of that. So, even though I cut my hair off, even though my businesses aren't popping off by any means, I still want to date. And if you have standards like me, because like when you look at like what a woman wants and a man, of course, they're looking for looks, but they also want to be taken care of, and they want like a leader, like masculinity. But then you look at what a man wants, of course, like beauty is super important, and the relationship with like everything I just said, and purity is a big thing. So I know that they have high standards, and it's only right that we do as well. And it's just a game. Literally, I know I probably sound like a broken record to this point, but it's literally just a game, and you got to play it. And obviously you can't beat the game if you don't play it. And it's a complicated game though, because it's not easy. And no one said it would be, but it's literally, you have to kind of cheat the game to be able to beat it. And you guys have to experience it to know what I mean. But like whenever I've done well with dating, it's when I've had multiple options and I've been around, different people. And then like right now I have nothing. Like I'm not talking to one girl, Well, actually that's not true. I texted a girl like last night, but she's okay. She's probably like I don't know, 5.5. She's nothing crazy, but yeah, I just get bored with girls like that. Call me greedy if you want. I know that I'm probably around that level, but again, man, I know what I'm looking for, and I'm hoping to find it. That's really it. But yeah, I mean, what I've realized about, and I gotta go after this point just because like I think dinner's about to be ready. But what I've realized is that like when I've gotten with the higher looking girls, it's always been when they've seen me around other girls, and I go through hot and cold slumps. It's just like Major League Baseball to me. Is when I'm hot, I'm just always around chicks. It was a lot easier when I lived in Houston, when I was in a bigger city. Now I'm in a small ass town, but they just see me around them. And like I remember I took I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was recently. But I took like this girl that I've been seeing to like my friends. He was like was having a party, and then at the party, obviously I knew girls that were there because like I've friends of friends and things like that, and I've seen them, and like I know that they are into me. And then like she kind of picked up on that, and then at the end of the night I kind of had to make a decision. I was like, which girl do I want to go with? There was like a blonde girl, and then there was like this like other type of girl who was, I don't know how to describe her, not like, I don't want to say like emo because that's not the right way, but it was like they were just two completely different girls. But I went with the one who I think energy I liked a little bit more, and it pissed the other girl off, and it's like whatever. But that actually like strengthens it too, is because people want what they can't have. And like the girls that I'm looking forward to on the dating apps are the ones that probably see me as, oh, like, kind of easy, and like they know they can do better. It's like, because the guys that they want are not really available and things like that, stuff like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, I'll continue to document my progress. And the good thing about this channel, the best thing about this channel, is that it forces me to continue to try, because if I don't have content to make. And the thing that kills me the most is when I have nothing to talk about, with YouTube specifically. And that's kind of what has me leaning towards going with my friend tomorrow, because he's a pretty good looking guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, German in him. And I'm sure him and I can do pretty well, but it's kind of dangerous when you go out with someone and you're not the best looking, because you like if you're like an average looking guy and you go out with a good looking guy, you're gonna look even worse. It'd be like me standing next to like Ronaldo or something, and I mean like Ronaldo if he wasn't famous. It's like if Ronaldo was looked like, what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of have to be careful with that, because it's kind of dangerous. But yeah, man, I mean, yeah, just keep grinding, keep working, fighting, and football's on this week, so we're definitely gonna make more videos about money and things like that. It's just I haven't had anything to really like grind on and to focus on, but that's gonna change tomorrow when football's on, because then I'm gonna start commentating and breaking down film and tape and things like that. So but yeah, we'll do a video every single week on an interview. we'll probably make like 1 to 2 videos about money and finances and things like that, and then the rest will be dating. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep trying to make something happen, but not like trying too hard, because I never do well when I try too hard. I guess I'll just start walking out of here, but I'm not really that deep into the woods. It probably maybe looked like I was, and yeah, I definitely want to do a video where I walk through the woods and with a friend or something. I'm not going out there by myself, but yeah, that's really it, man. I'm here, man. But yeah, I'll let you guys go. Appreciate you. And I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, because like part of me wants to upload it when I pass the checks. But yeah, my next video will probably be about how cold approaching went on Thursday, and then I'll be in a different location. I got a couple of ideas planned, but until next time, friends, I'm out. Peace.